Well...
Which was now like 6 miles away.
Maybe, yeah.
But not before addressing what needed to be addressed. Aoko couldn't begin to comprehend Sojiro's reaction.
Yeah. I changed my mind. Now run. Oh.
Yeah, but the cute girl trying to kill me is different, and that makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Though she wondered what was getting her so worked up, Aoko didn't stop. She told herself that the degree of Sojiro's stupidity, charging the breadmen so recklessly, had caused her to lose her cool.
Wow. I decided I don't want her to be the one to kill me.
Yeah. If I'm gonna die, I want you to be the one to do it. You do know what she looks like.
Well,
you saw her yesterday. Or earlier today, I guess.
Yeah. Huh.
It was like someone had doused water over her blazing fury. Aoko's anger was snuffed out by the absurd simplicity of his reasoning.
And that he hasn't spoken to her, so he doesn't really know anything about her.
Could it be that Sojiro didn't mind being killed by someone as long as he had met them?
Well, it'd be easier for him to take, I guess. Not like he wants to die.
Aoko chased behind him, grimacing at the ever-increasing incomprehensibility of it all. From her spot atop the clock tower, the girl observed the growth of her familiar. Flat Snark. The savior of the discarded. It was a vile, vulgar fairy tale monster who provided those abandoned by fate with a glimmer of hope before snatching it away.
Huh.
So Flat Snark is the island of misfit toys?
Kinda.
Alice had it under her control, but she was still keen to keep the Snark from expressing its bad habits. After completing a lap around the park that had now reached the size of an entire town, the Robin made its situation report.
Yes.
It seemed Aoko was prioritizing the safety of the boy. Even if it resulted in wasting an entire day, choosing to not capitulate on a decision was very much like her.
Oh
man, I wanted her to try to kill me.
Wow.
The bluebird cheeped in response. Was it denying its master's portrait of Aoko, or agreeing that it was Aoko's style to do exactly that? An outsider might interpret its interjections either way. The robin jumped at being addressed so unexpectedly. It chirped and flapped its wings like a flustered servant, frantic to say otherwise.
It's holding something.
Looks like an egg.
Yeah. Oh, God.
It definitely looks egg-like.
Yeah.
Calmly, she pulled out a small object from her pocket. It was a dark gray Easter egg, and emanating from inside it was the ticking of a clock. The robin knew it to be a ploy kickshaw with a bad attitude far exceeding Flat Snark's, known to be among the best in one-on-one situations.
Great. Oh, wow, look at that. Stolen time?
And together with the witch's breath, the egg filled with praise disappeared. Suddenly, a strong wind swept through the park. The words, "I could have killed them all by myself," floated through the air.
Oh, boy.
It was the disappointment of something enormous that was both visible yet overlooked. flat snark is sad.
Yeah. I didn't need help, damn it.
You were taking too long. Aoko and Sojiro continued their dash toward the boundary separating the park from outside. The curio horde that stood in their way had reduced in number. The iron fence that separated the two from the outside world was just over 300 yards away.
Or it appeared to be so.
Fortunately, there were no particularly large buildings barring their path.
Ah.
If the Ferris wheel had stood in their way, that would have spelled the end, but thankfully it had yet to reach its full strength. The only things that appeared before them were weak oddities that could be easily handled by Aoko's simple magecraft.
Well, you're getting hopeful. Let's see.
She would have said make it to the fence, if her lungs would only allow it. Since Aoko was utilizing the ample mana filling the park, her tank of magical energy was nearly full. Coupled with the fact that the condition of her body's circuits was steadily improving to the extent that she'd be able to unleash at least one all-out onslaught.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
Until, above her field of vision, something unusual was hovering. It was locked on Sojiro, hovering 10 feet above him, over to one side.
Shizuki-kun, ちょっと。
さっきからついてきてる。
Oh. Yeah, you saw it first, huh?
Sojiro had seemingly noticed it before Aoko, hence his previous awkward glances toward the sky. In truth, it would have been stranger for him not to have noticed, as the thing was practically glued to him.
Okay, a bunch of runes.
In terms of its size, the floating object measured about 3 feet in diameter.
Got a door on it?
Tiles covered its exterior, about which a multitude of spinning lights danced about.
Look like runes.
卵かな。
Does look like Tamago.
Hmm.
Sojiro asked, not really sure what to call it.
卵卵って言ったら割れる卵。
It'll open, yeah. Well.
Her bullets bounced off like it was made of rubber.
Cute little puffy cloud, it looks like.
That trait, the ability to deflect all outside interference, confirmed to Aoko that this thing was undoubtedly a ploy kickshaw.
やっぱり外からのルールじゃ壊れないか。Shizuki-kun,
Okay.
あれから絶対に目をそらさないで。いい。何があっても見続けること。視界の隅に入れとくだけでいいから。
ああ。
But Aoko, it's up and behind me. That means I can't look where I'm running anymore.
Wow.
Aoko picked up her pace as she barked orders. The Eggman who sat on a wall.
Humpty Dumpty,
He
yeah.
would crack just as the tale spoke of. Nothing anyone could do or say would cause him to fall, but the moment they stopped looking, he would tumble down and break into pieces.
曰く、王様の軍隊でも元に戻せない数の破片。
Could not put him back together again.
No, could.
Hmm.
All the king's horses and all the king's men could put Humpty Dumpty back together again.
That doesn't sound right.
Aoko was just bad at nursery rhymes as a kid.
Clearly.
It was the Mother Goose poem, Humpty Dumpty. If Sojiro was its target, then the moment he averted his gaze, it would tumble and explode.
Oh.
爆発するかどうかは知らないけど。
Ah, yeah.
Either way, it was going to scatter something troublesome when it fell. Grailmud. I don't know where she got Grailmud from, but Grailmud. Its oval shape, the keyhole adorning the front, and writing inscribed upon it, they all made her anxious. If it was an egg, that meant it was going to hatch at some point.
Right.
Even if he continued his stare, once the time came for whatever was inside to come out, they would have even less ability to conserve their energy.
Yeah?
You're making a pretty big assumption there, that this thing is going to hatch, right? Because it might not. Like, you can leave the eggs you buy at the grocery store out for all time. They're not gonna hatch.
Well, she's just thinking if it's an egg, there has to be something inside it.
Yeah, but that doesn't
the thing
necessarily
inside is-
mean it's gonna hatch.
Right, yes, but the thing inside the egg is probably more important than the shell.
青崎、早すぎないか。あまり全力で走ると。
Yeah.
後のことは考えないで。
Uh,
いいから
That
し
sounds
ず
like a
き君
bad
は
idea.
卵だけに集中して。
well, yeah.
At this critical juncture, Breadmen stepped out to join the egg and block their path.
邪魔。
The Breadmen were marching forth in a grand battalion. At her level of firepower, Aoko should have easily mowed them down. However...
Oh, God.
片焼きかこの。
Ah, they're not fresh anymore. They're hardened.
they've gone stale.
Oh, no. Is it laser time?
If Snap failed to do the job, that meant it was time for her to put her crest to use. Draw. A formula-triggered bullet encased in a full wind jacket. If her previous shots were the equivalent of a machine gun volley, then this was her artillery shot.
There you go.
The hard-crust bread that had absorbed her snap without a dent scattered into thousands of tiny pieces at her draw's torrent.
うわ
Of
Did that make
course,
you lose track of the egg?
the destruction did not end with just the breadmen. Sending bricks flying, the previously paved roads was now bare.
Wow.
The nearby stall had turned into a skeleton of steel beams.
Good job.
It was a spectacle that made Sojiro question which force, the wall of breadmen or Aoko's ability to lay waste to things, would obstruct their path more.
ちょっとなんで距離取るのよそこ。そばにいないと危ないじゃない。ほらもっとこっち。言っとくけど、あんたがあいつらに囲まれちゃったらアウトよ。私人質とか意味ないタイプだし、そもそも区別して撃つとかそういうのできないし。
This made a lot of sense to Sojiro. He hadn't fully appreciated the part about hostages, but he got the gist of it.
つまり今はどこであろうと危険なのか
Kinda, yeah.
あんたね。
Offended that, though she was by his typical naive response, she couldn't help but be impressed. Sojiro was a straight arrow, through and through. His eyes stayed firmly focused on the egg overhead, even amidst the chaos of the melee unfolding before him.
その分なら安心か。物分かりは悪いけど、一度言われたことはきっちり守るあたり、あなたのいいところよね。
そんなことより青崎俺の気のせいならいいんだけどさっきのパン硬くなかったか
Yeah, they definitely had a shell.
まあね、あいつら少しずつ強くなってきてるわ。大量生産が軌道に乗ったんで、今度はクオリティアップをテーマにしたのかも。しずきくんでもお察しの通り、ここからは手強くなっていく一方よ。あのパンたちでさえ個体差が出てきたみたいだし。
Really? I didn't see that.
考えたくないけど、そのうちジャム塗ったりレタス乗っけたり、果ては合体したりして。
Okay.
Though she was joking, her eyes were dead serious.
They might start pulling weird tricks on you, huh?
Sojiro shuddered at the thought of the situation growing even more dire.
じゃあそのうちミラーハウスの人形ぐらいに怖くなるのかあいつら
Oh. Huh.
間違いなくね。そこまでレアなパンになったら、私も自分だけで手一杯になる。ところでしずきくん、ああいうのと喧嘩できる？
Yeah, do you think you stand a chance?
Sojiro shook his head, a look of complete aversion upon his face.
でしょ？なら急ぎましょう。いろいろ余裕ないんだから。
Better stick close to Aoko then.
Aoko took a quick, deep breath, then began to sprint once again. Far in the distance, through the fog, the iron fence waited, 300 paces away. As long as nothing happened, they'd make it there in one piece. Sojiro followed after Aoko, holding on to that all too convenient hope.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, game, you keep giving us absolutely brilliant lines to end off on.
Yeah. That hope was something ever fleeting. Yep, you knew the shoe was about to drop soon.
Yep.
Okay, so...
Night of the Witches 11.
Wow! Dang, that's a lot of scenes.
That's a lot of scenes.
So Flat Snark is some kind of creature in plain sight, probably the Ferris wheel,
Possibly
watching over
Ferris wheel.
everything. Either way, it's kind of a bit miffed that Alice didn't trust it to handle things by itself.
It was taking too long.
Yeah, and now we got an egg to worry about.
Yes.
So, yeah, we'll find out what's in the egg and why it looks so creepy and door-like.
Honestly,
and
the fact that they're just, like, you know, analogizing it to Humpty Dumpty doesn't make it that terrifying, because
well, I mean,
all
yeah.
Humpty Dumpty did when it, you know, when it opened was die.
Right, yes.
Like,
it's got to be mixing in a different
it's not known
story.
for exploding or
Right.
hatching into some kind of terrifying murder dragon, or, you know, like...
Yeah, they got to be like a combination of stories, like Humpty Dumpty is form 1, and when Humpty Dumpty breaks, something else happens. But, it's kind of weird. Like, it's just sticking around Sojiro and just floating there menacingly. And if you take your eyes off it, that's maybe when something happens, so...
To some extent, I sort of get the feeling that this whole thing is Alice's attempt to just put Aoko in her place
Yeah.
and also kill Sojiro.
Yeah, I don't know how seriously she's trying to kill Aoko.
If Aoko happens to die in the process, I don't think
Well.
she's going to be heartbroken or anything. But
No,
like,
they are rivals.
I
but
do get the impression that
She's-
that she's just putting Aoko in her place
Yeah.
while killing Sojiro.
Yeah. Like, I get the feeling after the situation they're still going to be roommates, but she's going to make sure Aoko knows some respect.
Right? Like, quit eating my damn familiars, Aoko.
Oh, boy. Like I said, I don't think we have to worry about the Thames Troll, because that's probably the river thing that Aoko was talking about.
Right.
Flat Snark is making the Fantasyland, but doesn't seem outrageously dangerous at the moment. For Aoko, anyway. Like, nothing's really stopping her from just running to the edge yet. So it's probably going to be Humpty Dumpty that's, like, the super dangerous murder monster thing.
Like, what other, like, scary crap could they pull out of Mother Goose?
I don't know Mother Goose that well.
Like, the ugly duckling was Mother Goose, wasn't it? Or was that...
Maybe?
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't actually know a whole lot about what they could throw at us. I am expecting a fair amount of, you know, fairy tale, like monsters or something. I'm sure Nasu can bullshit some kind of excuse.
Alright, let's see. Yeah, close enough. Thank you.
Is Jack and Jill Mother Goose?
Thank you for working that out from Morger Goose Fairy to Sliz.
Mother Goose.
Okay.
What do we got?
Nursery Rhymes. Tales of Mother Goose.
Huh?
Just give me a list of what's in here, please. I'm begging you. Character, no, that's just on the character. Best, okay, maybe this will just give us a list of some. Okay, Little Red Riding Hood is in there.
Oh, that was Mother Goose? No, wait. It can't be. It's Brothers Grimm, isn't it?
Yeah, that doesn't seem right. Like, what is in there? Come on.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You can't just find a list of Mother Goose tales.
List. Or just add list to the end of it. Tales of Mother Goose. Just tell me, give me a Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, The Little Thumb,
Is that Tom Thumb? No, I can't be.
The Master Cat, stroke Puss in Boots,
Yeah.
Ricket of the Turf, Bluebeard.
Of the Tuft.
Oh, sorry, yep. The
Bluebeard.
Fairy, Little Red Riding Hood.
Huh. That's not like Humpty Dumpty and stuff, though.
It was not Humpty Dumpty and stuff, though.
That's weird. Huh.
Yeah, the fairies, the Griselda,
Don't know that one.
the Ridiculous Wishes, Donkey Skin,
Okay.
Fairy Tales of Charles Perrault.
Errol, yeah. That's fine. Those are list text. Oh.
Fairy Tales.
Ooh.
Nope, not opening. Life and Work.
It's not a simple list, but they're there.
Why do you hate me? Just give me... Some of his popular stories include Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty. Yeah. For example, some versions of Sleeping Beauty published today are based partially on a Brothers Grimm tale Little Briar Rose, which was a modified version of the Perrault story.
Oh, yeah, okay. So some of that stuff could be worked in there.
You don't
There's
want to...
Yeah, Tom Thumb. Yeah, it's basically the same list there. Okay. I'm not seeing anything like super deadly killer monster. So yeah, I don't know what this deadly one-on-one duelist stand she's got going on.
So Humpty Dumpty is from a nursery rhyme, but first recorded from James William Eliot's National Nursery Rhymes and Nursery Songs from 1870.
Well, I guess that's just Nasu playing around with nursery rhymes in general. So we shouldn't take Mother Goose too seriously then.
Evidently.
Okay, so we should just assume any kind of fairy tale monster could show up. Because I think they're playing a little fast and loose with the lore again.
They do seem to be, yes.
We should have expected that.
You know, the Thames Troll is also
Yeah.
not Mother Goose.
Yeah, okay.
So...
Okay, so maybe Puss in Boots will come out of the egg. I don't know.
Maybe
He'll bring Shrek with him.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
The donkey!
That would certainly be weird. Let's see. Well, I guess we'll have to see how their hope is going to be fading next time.
Yep.
But till then, we'll catch you later.